back. Let's talk about your health, and we're talking about the spine and how your sitting position affects it, and also its impact on your cardiovascular system. So what are the health implications relating your spine to your cardiovascular system? I'm talking to Dr. Nashale Dodo. She's the CEO of Nova Wellness Center about this issue. Good morning, Dr. Dodo.
Good morning. It's really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So let's talk about the sitting positions, because most of us are not very conscious of how we sit. We get a chair, we sit, and that's it. But how do you sit? I can see you're very well postured, and I'm just jealous. But teach us, tell us a little about the sitting position.
Sure. So when you sit, I always say that you want to keep your spine straight as much as possible. Not only when you're sitting down, even when you're standing, when you're sleeping. The trick is to keep your spine fully erect. Most people slouch this way. Sometimes they even extend that way. But the trick is to keep it straight and erect. When you do that, then all your body's organs are properly aligned.
But how do you make it sound easy? But I'm sure it's a bit difficult and it takes time to nurture. But how do you get that alignment, that posturing right?
So it's a habit that you would have to, over a long period of time, cultivate. It doesn't just happen. You have to be conscious of it. But I also have to say that there are some people who naturally, because of spinal problems, may not be able to maintain that erect spine. So you have to watch out for those things. If you realize that it's painful,
because oftentimes we'll buy medications off the counter, treat ourselves, and just manage. So in your practice, how often do we come?
Oh, we're very busy. A lot of people are starting to find other options. There are people who have taken medications for so long they realize that the pain doesn't go away, so they start to investigate to find other therapies or other treatments that they can use. So yes, we do have a lot of people, adults and children. For children, a lot of the cases I see, I'm taking to the heavy school bags that kids are using. So unfortunately, we have a lot of children who come in with back problems. Sometimes they also have scoliosis. We see that very, very commonly. And even though it may be there, it starts to show up maybe during adolescence, and then they also come in for treatment.
But someone is wondering what the relationship between how I sit and my heart, what exactly is it? How does it affect me?
When you sit poorly, like we were just talking about, and also when you sit for too long, they're saying that on average, adults are sitting up to 8 hours.
Wow.
With little to no breaks. So when you sit for that long, it affects your circulation. So there's diminished blood flow to and from your heart. So if you're doing this every day for so long in your career at the office, over a period of time, it can affect your blood vessels, and that can lead to the cardiovascular diseases.
So what would you say is a solution to that? How do we manage, the sitting issues, the fact that we had seemingly a sedentary lifestyle? How do we work that out so that it doesn't affect us adversely?
So first of all, you want to take a break from sitting or standing. So we're talking about sitting, but really, even if you're standing to do your work a lot, then every 30 to 45 minutes you want to take a break. If it's for 5 minutes, you can move around a bit. For a lot of my patients, we teach them simple exercises they can do right at their desk, even without moving, just to enhance the blood flow and get the joints moving again. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing we want you to do is to look at your ergonomics, your office, your workstation. If there are things that don't promote you doing the right things. Some people have a printer behind them and they keep twisting their backs and things like that. Then we also want to check your spine to see how it may have affected it. So if you come to Nova Wellness Center, we'll check the whole spine to see if you may have gotten any misalignments over the period due to activities at work or at home.
So at what point do I need to come? Is it when I start feeling the pain, or prior to feeling the pain I should just have my spine checked ahead of time?
I strongly recommend people to check their spine at least once a year.
Okay.
When you do your yearly physicals and checkups, you also want to have an x-ray done to check your entire spine, because there are a lot of things we do on a day-to-day basis. Some people get involved in motor vehicle accidents, falls, injuries that can compromise the spine. So once a year, if you come in, we check. If there's a problem, then we tell you what to do. Now, as Ghanaians, we're very notorious for waiting till the dying minutes. Yes, so it becomes harder to treat some of these things, and a lot of the problems we see at the clinic that are hard to treat, not because it's untreatable, but it's because they have waited too long. So we recommend that don't wait. If you come in and you don't have a problem, then great, we can maintain that, we'll help you maintain that. But if there's a problem, then as soon as possible we start to treat it.
So finally, what is the advice you have out there for us workers, children? Because the children in the bags, I used to be a victim. Every child in Ghana seems to carry a bag full of books for the whole day's activities. So what would you advise parents and adults to do to help their spine?
So for the children, we've been talking to some schools to get policies that will prevent some of these children from carrying all their books to school and back. So we want parents and teachers to be their own proponents. Make sure that the kids are carrying just the books that they need, not every book in their cupboard. And then also for adults, we want you, again, take minor breaks. It's very, very important. It even helps you to be more productive, because when you take a 5-minute break, you go back, you're more focused, you're more energetic, and you're able to do your work. And then also we want people to enhance their fitness levels. You mentioned being sedentary. We just don't do any physical activity because we're busy and things like that. We want to encourage people to exercise. Walking is the simplest and great exercise that you can do. So we even want to take this opportunity. We have a health walk coming up on Monday, July 2nd, as part of our 5-year anniversary celebrations. So we want people to come to Nova Wellness Center and let this be your first step towards fitness. Let's walk through the Northridge Oso area, and then those that need help with the spinal issues, after the walk, we'll see how best to help you.
Nice. But that walk, what time is it taking place?
So we're starting right at 6 a.m. from Nova Wellness Center, which is 3 buildings after Sunny FM on the Kanda Highway. So you come in, we'll register you, give you a tag, we'll go for the walk, come back, do a little bit of aerobics there, and then we have lots of giveaways to give from our sponsors.
Nice. Well, we have been speaking to Dr. Dodo. She's the CEO of Nova Wellness Center, and she's been telling us about the sitting problems that we can have with our spine and how it affects our cardiovascular system, and she's giving us some tips on how to make sure you don't spoil your spine before you die, because really that carries you through the journey. So let's make sure we're keeping our spines right, we're making them healthy, and she says join them on the walk on Monday, July 2nd at 6 a.m. at the Nova Wellness Center right next to Sunny FM. Let's go and walk and protect our spines. We have music coming in from Grass